Shalom, shalom, shalom. This brother Kwamala coming at you with another lesson. Before I get into this lesson, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Hakwadash. The honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Kazak Shalom to the hopeful elect. Alright, this lesson is just going into, don't get too caught up in your own mind. Don't be following after. Don't go too deep in things that you want to do. Because we all get like that. Or we might get caught up into things we might overthink and react a different way because we done overthought it because we done got too caught up in overthinking. All right, but that's all following after your mind, all right, and not after the spirit or following after Yahbashim Shah, you know. But gonna get into it, and I got a couple of accounts. I might speak on, real quick how, Saul, he followed after, his own mind, all right, and he thought, a lot of things he thought he was doing, all right, but it ended up being off at the end, all right, just to just surely state that, it's good to go read about that because you learn from those situations. He reacted on his own mind. You know, but this is Sirach 5:2. It says, "Follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart." All right, don't follow. Don't just follow after your own mind, your own will. All right, we our mindset should be in the mindset of Yahweh Bashim Shah. All right, so what is that? When the spirit hits you, all right, it tell you things that give you discernment, especially how to handle situations, especially in everyday life, because you come across you know everything, you know. But to keep going, I don't want to ramble. It says to walk in the ways of thy heart. All right, and a lot of times, you'll be meditating on things, and you know, and a lot of times Satan will jump on you, because that's what it be, especially when it's things on, it'd be a distraction or going off on any type of way, you know. But the whole thing is, don't do that. You trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. All right. This is Proverbs 14:12. It says, "There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but at the end thereof was death." All right, and like I told you, it made me think of Saul because when he went to, I believe he had to go kill the Amalek king. All right, he went into his own mind. All right, and he thought to do everything against what Yahweh Shema Shah said do, especially according to the cattle and I believe with the king of Amalek. All right, it took Samuel to hew him down. All right, but that's all because following after your own mind. All right, and like I said, this could be with anything. All right, but this is a quick account. This is Luke 22:3. It says, "Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot." And like I said, Satan is the one that's going to have these distractions coming your way. Or have you thinking and meditating on these thoughts. All right? Because ultimately, if that happens, you probably wasn't really in the spirit as much as you should or you was. All right? That's why, Satan was able to do these things and work on your mind. All right? But you got to be in the spirit of Job. All right? Because Job trusted in the Lord no matter what Satan did. All right. This is Luke 22:3. It says, "Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being the number of the 12, and he went his way and communed with the chief priests and the captains, how he might betray him unto them. And and they were glad and committed to give him money." Now, the whole backdrop, when Judas did this, he was going in his own mind because really he wanted to force the Lord's hand, to bring the kingdom. All right, but that was just off because prophecy had to for play out. And the Lord had to going across. He had to die. He had to do all these things, but you know, Judas being led in his own mind, getting caught up in his own mind, he went off and did that. You know, and you see it says Satan entered into him. All right, so that's something you need to be looking out for because when you get caught up, you getting caught up in your flesh. All right, it says, Salakia. This is Matthew 16 and 21. It says, from that time forth began Yahweh Shai. This is just another account with Peter. From that time forth began Yahweh Shai to show unto his disciples how that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and raised again on the third day. All right, you see, and that was, showing you that this had to happen. All right, but Judas, didn't care. All right, he went off his own mind. All right, and as you see, even just, even you could love something so much, and this is the incident right here that could get you so caught up. All right, then and it have you going off. All right, like we're just gonna read it. It's Matthew 16 to 21. From that time forth began Yahweh Shah to show unto his disciples how that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things to the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be risen again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord. All right, see, Peter was caught up in his feelings, all right, because, don't nobody want none of that to happen to Yahweh Shah, but it had to happen. All right, you see how Peter drew the sword on one of the Pharisees and chopped off the ear, man. All right, that was just how much love Peter had for Yahweh Shah. It says, then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. But he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. All right, see, there we go again. That's Satan doing his craftiness, his little handiwork, man. All right, he'll enter into you and have you thinking all type of things. All right, that's why you constantly got to rebuke your mind, all right, with the scriptures. All right, especially like when you get too caught up in things. All right, you just sit back and reevaluate everything. You know, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith or not. The scriptures talk about, but in the sense of being too caught up in the world. All right, examine yourself right there. Are you doing this too much? All right, and like I said, I can contest that to myself because I had just recently went through that. But that's it just happens. All right, but that's the whole thing. Is the messages don't be too caught up. All right, because you can be taken anywhere. All right. Um, but going back to 23, it says, but he turned and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou servest not the things that be of Yahweh, but those that be of man. And that was like the mortal feelings that was in the way. All right. But that's just, and when we coming into these times again where you might be around a brother and things might be to happen and you you never know. All right, y'all might have to split up. I mean, that's like I said, that's a whole another lesson subject. I ain't about to just get into it. Like I said, I don't want to ramble. About to keep going. All right, this is Proverbs 3 and 5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not into thy own understanding." I just said that earlier. All right, follow after the Spirit, because like I said, it's the Spirit that's gonna guide you. All right, because you sit there and in the world you think it's your conscience, but it's really the Spirit, especially when it's a righteous thought. All right, but now it's time to just to answer the Spirit. All right, walk in the Spirit. You know, so like yeah, it says, "In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths." All right, so the Lord is going to direct your steps as long as you listening. So that's the whole thing. Have your spiritual ear open. All right, listening for the ways of the Lord, to guide you. All right, especially when you in certain situations, where you gotta think and you don't want to be in the flesh thinking about it. You gotta listen to the Spirit. All right. Verse 7, it says, "Be not wise in thy own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil." All right. Be not wise in your own eyes. It says, all right, Slacky, this is Deuteronomy 13:4. It says, "You shall walk after the Lord your power, all right, and fear him." All right. Walk after the Lord. And like I said, every time I think about it, that's when the Spirit hits you. All right. You walk in a way the Spirit tell you to go. It's your conscience. That's basically your righteous conscience. All right. It says, "And fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice." All right. And that's ultimately like that's another way of the Lord speaking. All right. It could be through the his man, or it could be the Spirit hitting you with something. You know. Galatians. This is Galatians. It's like you're finishing out. It says, "And you shall serve him and cleave unto him." All right. This is Galatians 5:16. It says, This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." All right, going into that carnality, the things your flesh want to do. You know, it says, "If we live in the Spirit, let us walk in the Spirit." All right, so just taking that spiritual guidance. All right, taking it that step by step, actually listening to which way the Spirit wants you to go, because sometimes you'll have that feeling like, I don't really feel like doing that, but the Spirit telling you to do this, but then you might not end up doing it because you ain't really listened to the Spirit. But then you would have been in a better position if you would have just listened to the Spirit. All right, but that's why we say, let us walk also in the Spirit. All right, so we should obey for real. For every time the Spirit hits you with something, you should go with that. You know, but this flesh, sometimes how you going off. All right, and we subject to it for right now. All right, verse 26, it says, "Let us not be desirous, uh, desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another." I mean, I ain't really been put that scripture down, but Lord willing, y'all get the message. Don't get too caught up in your own mind, especially in this time we in this world, man. The scriptures say this world will pollute you. All right, and your mind is a strong, I believe it's an organ, but it's a strong member of your body. All right, and it'll have you doing, it'll have you going off. All right, but amen. Lord willing, this was edifying to the Lord's elect. Till next time, Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Bahashim, Rachacha Kodash. Double honors again to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach me well. Kazak Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.